Sponsored. You gotta make sure the label's always out.
And that's how we're going to start the podcast with Bill talking about
Okay.
Diet Coke.
No,
Hey, everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Hello.
All right, you ready, Bill?
Everyone, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready.
All right, then let's do it. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Bill.
And I am Nick.
And we like to watch horror movies together. We are also joined by Skippy Midnight, audio engineer. He's amazing. We also have to thank, of course, Nick for composing our intro theme and Sam for producing it. And of course, we have to thank Tina for promoting the Three Strangers podcast on all social media. So,
Tina.
boys, do you know what special day this is? Well, what day was yesterday when we're recording this?
Yeah, it's February 15th. Yeah.
Today is President's Day.
It's
Happy President's Day, everybody.
President's Day. You're right, and that's why we have on the call with us.
Okay. My eyes would bug out of my head. I'd be like,
President Joe Biden himself begins with a hand.
That's crazy.
No.
Well, it was Valentine's Day, and we were talking. We were like, "Wow, wouldn't it be cool if we could get all of our significant others on the podcast?" Well, unfortunately, we kind of get all of them. They were busy. So we were unable to get all of them. Yeah. We did get one significant other, which we will introduce her very soon. But I thought for the Valentine's Day special, we should have a few Valentines with us.
Yeah, my Valentine goes to a different school, Ryan. So it's a joke. I'm sorry. That's sorry. That was so lame. So continue. Pretend I didn't say that.
So our first Valentine that we have with us, he's very well known on the podcast. He does the audio. He does music. He streams. It is Skippy Midnight.
Yeah!
Our first Valentine that we have.
Hell yeah.
There he is.
That is awesome.
So who actually?
Skippy.
Okay, I was just gonna ask who actually gets to call me their Valentine. I was wondering, but
to me.
All right.
Okay.
Claim.
Okay, so now we have our next Valentine. She just happens to be my girlfriend. She is amazing. She's beautiful. She does everything for the podcast and for the Flash Forward Reviews channel. It is Tina.
Yeah, Tina.
Hey.
Yeah, Tina.
Tina.
So I'm guessing Nick will claim Tina.
That'll be good. That'll be good. That's comedy. That's comedy.
Yep.
There we go. All right, so Nick and Tina are Valentines. We have Skippy and Bill as Valentines, and now I need a Valentine. Well, do we have a very special lady in here for the third Valentine? She has been my best friend since I was a child and since she was a child. I've known her all of my life. She is very dear to me. She is one of my best friends in this whole entire world. It is Kaylin.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't know why
Let's go, Kaylin.
Like, hello.
So how are our Valentines doing? All of them combined.
Doing okay. I'm pretty good.
I'm alright.
This is
How you guys doing?
It's like our first date. This is so fun.
Yeah, just a triple date Spotify.
So not to put any of you guys on the spot, but does anyone want to share what they did on Valentine's Day?
I'll go.
All right, so I guess
There we go.
And then no one spoke.
Yeah, that was very tense.
Okay, I'll share if nobody wants to go.
Well, Skippy said he was going to
I
go.
don't care.
Oh, sorry.
Tina said, "Screw it." Skippy's gonna say, "I'm not saying that much."
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. It's okay. It's alright.
No, Skippy could go.
I'll go. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I spent a very lovely day with my girlfriend. She was up
Belle?
in.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm about to say, we're gonna have words after this. We're gonna have words. Okay.
She was up in Lake Placid, but she got home around like 1. So I picked her up at about 2:30 because I let her like unpack and everything, and then we went hiking at Sam's Point, which is in
Oh.
Ellenville. That was very nice. We wanted to see the ice caves, but they were
Nice.
closed, so we didn't get to do that. But that's all right. And then I
Ice
saw, yeah, they're really cool. I haven't been there in a long time
Really
now. And then we went and saw my dad, which was fun because I haven't seen him in a long time, and he's building a new house, so that's really cool.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, and then after that we went out to dinner, and it was jam packed. We went to Tony Baffa's, which is it's a very nice family owned Italian restaurant, and it was packed for Valentine's Day. We had a reservation at 7:30. We didn't sit down until like 8. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Jesus.
And they ran out of steak, which is what I was there for. So that to make matters worse.
Oh, no.
But it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. We had a lot of fun. And then we came back to my house and watched the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, which was great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Great choice. Great choice.
Yes, of course.
One with Willem Dafoe, right?
Yes.
One with Green Goblin, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
I love that. So
and James Franco.
I always forget that James Franco is in the trilogy.
I know. I hate that he is though, because it's like him acting then he was actually like starting out and like tried to be a respected actor, and now he just does stuff like Pineapple Express in the interview. Like I don't know.
Listen, we're not accepting
He's
any
crazy in that
Pineapple
movie.
Express slander.
No,
on
no,
this
it's a great movie. It's a great movie. I'm just saying.
but it's not as serious of a role. Yeah.
Oh,
Not at
100%.
all.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, nice. I'm glad that you had a good Valentine's Day. Tina, I know you wanted to go next since you wanted to interrupt Skippy. You could go now.
I was going. I was just trying to fill the gap in the silence. But I guess you know that, like, what we did. You came, and then we went to the mall. Wait, what?
Wait. Sorry.
What do you mean?
You're dating
I
Ryan?
was with
Oh.
Kaylin, Tina.
Oh. Sorry,
really-
Nick came. Nick
this
came.
is
to
really
visit.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then me and Nick went to FYE, just to like get movies,
Yeah.
as we always do.
Yeah, we got movies.
And then
all
we
the
went to
time.
GameStop.
Right,
Yeah.
And then we
GameStop,
went to
yeah.
another GameStop.
Oh,
And then another game.
Well,
stop.
we all
And then
Yeah.
we all know how much Nick loves steelbooks.
Oh,
We all know how much he
100%.
loves steelbooks.
I just
so-
love Steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
we also went to TJ Maxx. That, so fun. And then
Oh, so fun.
Wow.
then we got dinner at Fridays, and they tried to pretend that they had like this great special thing happening for Valentine's Day. It wasn't. They just printed like a sheet of paper pretending it was special. Full price, same thing.
Oh,
that's funny.
Oh,
must have sucked for you.
That's great.
Yeah, but they gave us like a tiny little chocolate cake. So, it was
Okay.
worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
Did the
yeah.
chocolate cake taste good?
yeah.
It was pretty good. I had it this morning for breakfast.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
Good.
basically it. And then Nick went home.
Nick drove all the way to where he
I-
is now in
Yes.
California.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where I am.
Yeah, that's right.
I might as
That's
well
right.
be.
I can't believe it.
Just
Well,
Dedication.
all for-
Good job, Nick.
all for you, Tina.
Thank you. It means a lot. I do the
Well,
same. for-
Kaylin, do you want to say what we did
you.
on
Thank
Valentine's Day yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Not much. We just went ice skating.
Mm.
That's pretty much
Oh,
it.
Ryan, that's so
The
nice.
rink across from
Yeah.
I didn't know you ice skate, Ryan.
I do.
That's a new thing for you. Wow. Okay.
I do. Like,
Interesting.
the movie Blades of Glory?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Will-
kind
Will
of that
Ferrell?
good at it.
So, okay.
All
That's
right.
interesting. I didn't know
There
you
you
were.
go.
Yeah.
You're a regular.
Wow.
What is it? Tanya.
So-
What is her last name? Tanya Harding.
Tanya, yeah.
Yeah.
On the next Tanya Harding,
yeah.
Mhm.
breaking
So,
bones and stuff. All right,
just-
so we're
I just
Oh,
want to
yeah,
say
right.
there's 2 happy couples in this Discord call, and then there's Skippy who's cheating on me. That's okay.
Listen.
That's
listen.
ridiculous.
I'm Mormon. I can't help it.
That's it. Anything for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I do have all of you here for a reason. You know, we're here to talk about a movie. And
yeah.
I
Oh,
happened to buy the steelbook for it. Very nice steelbook. I love it.
That's Nick's
Nice.
thing. No, that is
I
really
stole
good.
it from
That is
him.
really-
That is like.
It's a nice one. And also recently I bought the I don't know if it's a sequel or like how it continues, but the 3D one from 2009.
Oh, okay.
With
I think it's a
4D
sequel.
I thought it was
Those are 3D glasses.
Oh,
I thought it was a
Nice.
remake.
Isn't it a remake?
Yeah,
I think it's a
I
remake.
don't,
remake?
it might be a
Oh, okay.
remake.
because on the
Because that's the
on
one I
the-
thought you wanted us to watch. Yeah,
No,
what you're
because I
saying?
heard that it was Dookie.
Oh,
Dookie.
ouch.
Yeah.
Strong language.
Yeah, because looking at the Amazon Prime description, it was like this 2009 remake was. So I
Oh, so does a remake.
Okay.
Well, it's
Yeah.
okay because we
You're
got
right
to
then.
watch the original My Bloody Valentine from 1981,
Mm.
directed by George Mialka. I hope I said that right. And of
Oof.
course, it's about
I
a
hope you did
killer
too.
who just absolutely hates Valentine's Day. He is like, I'm just gonna murk people on Valentine's Day. No other days of the year. So, well, no, he does murk people on not on Valentine's Day, but there's reasons why.
Yeah. Mhm.
It solely
That's it.
Valentine's Day themed killer that we
Yeah.
have here.
yeah for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
If I was gonna, okay, but like if you're gonna be a seasonal killer, I think Valentine's Day is a perfectly fine day.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just gonna put that out there. I think that's kind of like high dramatic irony, like to kill people on Valentine's Day.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
fair.
And it, like, all right, so
Yeah.
we're gonna jump right into the movie. I already know I'm gonna have the really unpopular opinion here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I really like this movie.
Oh, okay. I kind of like this movie too. We'll get into it. But
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like you hated it. Oh, Nick is guffawing. I don't like
I'll keep you
that.
guys on your toes.
Ooh, nice. Well, I will admit the acting. Oh my god, it's bad.
Trend.
The dialogue. Oh my god, it's horrendous.
Been worse.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I actually,
Kinda
I already have an opinion. I have to say, I actually want to. I'm gonna. I think generally the acting was bad, but I think it was the writing that was worse. And a couple of the actors, like the strongest performances, really played what they had, like what they were
Yeah.
handed. They played into it well. A couple of them, only a couple of them.
yeah, I think it really went hand in hand. Like the dialogue definitely didn't help out like the weaker actors and actresses of this film,
Not at all.
and you could tell.
Yes.
There are some lines,
Yes.
and some of these lines are so
Really?
freaking funny. And also, we're just gonna say it right now. This is full on spoilers. We're
Okay,
going
good.
full spoilers. Everything is
Oh,
on the
thank God.
table.
Thank God.
Don't worry, we're going full spoilers because I was about to say a spoiler.
All right.
I absolutely love when the sheriff gets like the note about the party and he's like, "What party?" Such a corny line,
good.
such corny delivery. But I think that's the
Oh,
reason
yeah.
why I love this movie as much as I did, because it wouldn't be as good if it wasn't as cheesy. It's such a cheesy
Yeah.
slasher,
Yeah.
and it plays off of it
Yeah.
really well. And I think it loses.
Yeah, like
its
I'm not
charm.
I'm not an apologist for this movie. Like, there's definitely bad parts of it, you know.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Like, but for some
100%.
reason, I'm like much like Thanksgiving, which is a landmark horror film.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, please see it.
Mm.
Thanksgiving. I don't even like saying it. I'm like entertained this entire time with this film. There's really never a time where I'm like, oh, I really wish this was like over. And like, nah, it's not that scary. There's scary parts, but like, I don't know. I'm enjoying myself the whole way through, which is, I can't say that for certain movies. Blair Witch.
Little shade right there.
I know AJ pops in the call. Oh, wow.
All right, let's ask some of our guests. What did you guys think of it? We'll start
Yeah.
with Kaylin.
It wasn't my favorite It was definitely very cheesy. I mean, you could tell that by its predictability, how
Mhm.
cheesy it really was.
Mhm.
But since it was so cheesy, it was pretty funny at times. Especially the really weird, bad accents that they had for some reason.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all Canadian, and it was filmed
How
in
many-
Canada.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like, were we supposed to know that? Like,
I mean, like, you could hear it as
It's
soon
one
as
of
they
those
said a boot.
stories.
Yeah.
About-
Yeah.
I know all about that.
Canadian horror films are there? Is this like one of one? Is there
No,
any other
because
good
Black
ones?
Christmas.
Wait, that's Canadian?
That's Canadian.
they only do holiday horror.
Yeah,
movies.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
The Canadians
Really
are like,
funny.
we will solely take the holiday themed horror.
They're both pretty high caliber, in my opinion.
They
In my
are.
opinion. They're pretty alright.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Like Black Christmas is of course the way better made movie. like,
yes,
fantastic movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
I don't want to.
But it's weird because this movie a lot of people refer to as a top 5 slasher of all time.
No way.
I'm not even
What?
kidding. Like this
Bro,
isn't even a joke.
what?
People like
no.
this is an actual thought that people have.
How
Those
can-
people are
oh my
wrong.
gosh. I mean,
Those people,
yeah,
like,
those
what?
people are just wrong. You're right.
So
I want-
Skippy, why don't
I
you
wanna see what
elaborate
their
on it
other-
and say what you
Yeah.
thought about it?
I feel like, I don't know. Ryan, you're right. Like, it's fun because it's corny, but in the beginning, I was having a hard time determining like what the genre was because there were like really really sad moments. Like it was really romantic and really sad. And there was the really corny guy. I forget all the names of the characters except like TJ and Sarah, like that. but
It's okay.
And
I
then-
have a
and then-
list of character names next to me.
the characters.
yeah, and then there was like the oh god, the mayor. The first time he's in the car with the police chief, and he opens up the box, and he's like, "What did he say? It's happening again."
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And I looked up the original Halloween because it feels like a Valentine's Day version of the Halloween movies to me. Because you have like just like a really beefy, slow, like tank of a serial killer, just
good old
walking
beefcake.
around. Yeah, walking around this town on a holiday, I guess. On like a holiday that you can still go to work on, you know? Like people don't take off for Valentine's Day.
Compared to Halloween, where everyone's off on Halloween.
Yeah,
Well, no,
everyone
that's,
takes
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like you don't
Oh,
take
I
off on
gotcha. I
Halloween
gotcha.
either.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
And what really hit the nail on the head for me in comparison with the original Halloween movie was when the original in the original Halloween, the first scene where you're in Michael's perspective, right, and you're looking through the window. They do this same exact thing at the laundromat.
Yeah.
Like that's I was
They
like, this
do.
is like the same thing. It's just except Scooby Doo mash up with a bunch of teenagers. Like that's what it felt like. You know?
Yeah, if you could think of every cliche that could possibly be in the slasher movie, this movie has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like all the guys, all
Feels
they
like a
want to
parody.
do, all the guys, all they want to do is have sex. All the girls just, you know,
The guys were such goofballs. Like the shower scene in the beginning to like that weird like car thing with the music in the background that was just so goofy. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, so much to love.
It was
so
very-
much to love.
To me, that group, it came across like kind of crossing genres here, but it kind of came across like watching the Jets. Sorry, when as in West Side Story, watching like the Jets or Jocks, but like a discount version of them. like if somebody said, "Okay, let's spoof West Side Story," and create these two groups of guys, that's what those guys in the film would be, which is, I think, why it was entertaining.
Yeah, I would just like to say that when you said the Jets, I automatically thought of the New York Jets.
Yeah, me
which
too.
made it 10 times funnier.
with the pants falling down on the big guy with the mustache running around. That's how the Jets play.
He's my favorite character. I loved him. He
Me
was
too.
so funny.
Yes, yes.
Hollis was the best.
He was the
so
only ones
mad.
who know their names.
What?
Are Kaylin and I the only ones who know all their names?
You remember
You
all the
don't.
names of every character?
Yeah, Howard was like the little goofball. And
Yeah.
TJ was like the guy that went away and came back. His
Yeah.
dad on the mind.
Yeah.
Axel was the blonde, annoying one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sarah.
I don't know who else
Of
there
course.
was.
I mean, there's the
Howard?
guy in the bar.
Yeah, we said Howard. Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna talk
Oh,
about
okay.
his
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know who I loved? Who I felt so bad for?
Who?
Mabel. She didn't deserve
Yeah.
the fate she
Yeah.
got.
Oh,
Yeah.
She didn't
Yeah.
deserve
Yeah.
it.
Short end.
Hey.
Short end.
Yeah.
of the stick.
Which
Mhm.
one was that?
Yeah, she looked-
She was the
Old
lady
lady.
in charge of the dance who got killed at the laundromat.
Okay, yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
She was
She
just
didn't
so
deserve
excited
the
to get a Valentine.
I know. She was so cute too. Like
Yeah.
with the giving the heart, and the mayor was just like, "Oh, Mabel, was it from you?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh," and she was like, "No."
when she fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Oh my god! But Tina, we didn't ask you. What did you think about it?
At first, I was very skeptical. Like with the opening scene, I was like, "What is this?" But then I just had to embrace how stupid it was gonna be, and then I enjoyed it. Like I just had to laugh at it the whole time. Like it was just fun because everybody was so goofy. Like Howard and like all his faces and everything. I just had to have fun with it, and then it was enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely.
Fun. That's a good word. I think I would agree with you there, Tina. It was just a fun film to watch. It didn't have to be amazing, but it was just really entertaining.
And it
Yeah,
never tried
like,
to
I
be
enjoyed-
anything it wasn't, which is like the best
Yeah.
thing about it.
Yeah, like if it tried to be
Yeah.
more serious, then I wouldn't have enjoyed it. But since it was like we know that this is kind of stupid, but we're embracing it, it was good.
Yeah.
It's like a really dark comedy, I think, in some ways.
Yeah.
And I
It is kind of
love
a dark
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like dark comedies, so like maybe that's why it's appealing to me. It's a weird film.
Mhm.
It's definitely a weird film.
What did you guys think of? So first, oh, sorry, Ryan. Were you gonna?
Oh no, I just said it is.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well, I not gonna lie, the whole story with, the guy leaving, was it Jesse? No,
TJ.
no,
TJ's the guy. Oh, I think
It's gonna
I
happen
think
a
it's
lot.
Jess,
It's gonna
but
happen a lot.
they call him TJ. They called him Jesse.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it was TJ. Yeah.
Oh,
The whole thing with him leaving and like Sarah moving on, I was actually devoted a little bit to it. I was like, man, this really sucks. Like, imagine like you go away and then you screw up like that. Having that like plot line in the movie was like, this is kind of weirdly.
Really real.
Yeah, I think it was weirdly real for like dark comedy that it presented itself as.
Yep.
It was almost like a dark rom-com at that point.
And
I'm
that's
really glad that you mentioned that.
that's why I didn't get like what genre it was trying to go for though. Like that's why, because it incorporates so many different things.
Yeah, but I think that's why a lot of people love it, because it had something for you to grip onto.
Right.
At least you had that little romance.
Right.
And I always think back to the scene where he just basically kidnaps her and brings her to the beach. And then like this super inspirational music in the background.
Oh my god.
She's like, why didn't you write me? He was like, I wanted to, baby, but I just couldn't.
I just couldn't.
No. All right. Listen, you got to give the actress who played Sarah credit though, because I think that she does a really good job in that scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she's the best actress.
Yes,
Yes,
she's the
I
best
agree.
actor in the
Performance.
entire movie. In the entire movie.
Weirdly good.
Yes.
Yeah, she did really well, and I think that's why it was so nice to watch this timeline, the plot line unfold.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't think TJ was the worst actor. I think there were some lines that stuck out that was like, okay, but
his accent.
Tina knows.
It's so bad.
in that scene, he was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's not even the worst one. Oh my gosh.
Tina, say it. Repeat as best as you can.
Oh my god.
Mimic
Okay.
it. You can do
When
it.
Axel's like going after Sarah and Sarah doesn't want any of it, and so TJ is trying to be like, hey Axel, like back off, and he's like, no. And then TJ gets really annoyed. So he walks right up to him and he goes, that's it. And then I can't understand it well enough. But
We replayed that like
me and Kaylin are watching it together. We watched it 3 times because we were like, did he really just say it like that? It was like very ridiculous. I don't know if it was because of like his actual accent or he was trying to do something there. I don't know. It was very funny to me.
Skippy, I'm gonna need you to just insert the audio right here.
I got you. I gotta write down a timestamp. I don't have.
I
the
might
pen.
have the timestamp actually because I put it in the review.
Okay. All right. Good.
So if I have it, I'll send it to you.
Good. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
all right. As we usually
good.
do. Oh, you guys can go. Sorry. You guys
No,
go.
wait. Does this part have to be in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not. That part isn't actually in the review. I just like went up to it when I was screen recording for the review.
Okay.
So like, don't get excited that you're going to see that. In the review.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I had to say.
Okay. Well, so as we do whenever we talk about a horror movie, we go through the plot. I'll read the plot summary on Wikipedia, and we'll kind of talk about,
Plot points.
plot points, what they miss, what they don't talk about, what we thought was funny, stuff like that. And there's one thing that we haven't talked about, and I don't know if you guys want to talk about it first before we go through the plot, which is our killer. Do you want to talk about the plot first or our killer?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do plot
Okay.
killer. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I like that. So, okay, here we go with the plot. So, inside a mine shaft, a female miner takes off her gear in front of another miner. When the woman performs a striptease, the miner pushes her onto a mining pickaxe, killing her.
I forgot.
I totally forgot that was the machine.
Yeah, me too.
I just remember being like, oh my god, the music's so serious. And then like he shows the miner, he turns around and just titties. I was like, whoa.
You know, it's really bad because people that don't know this movie think you're saying minor like under 18 and not like people who work in the mines.
That's true. This is people who work in the mines, not
Way
a
to
miner.
go, Ryan.
Yeah.
Nice save, though, Tina. Nice save.
Good job, Tina. Everyone's gonna be like,
Good job,
oh
Tina.
no. So what did you
That's
guys
weird.
think about that?
It didn't fit.
No.
Yeah.
It was
They-
a classic
I purposely-
80s, like. Oh, go on.
Well, in what way
Go
didn't
on,
it
Skippy.
fit?
Who's going?
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm so,
All right,
I'm
yeah,
so
let's move
glad
past
that was the silence.
Who's going?
Skippy, what were you going to say?
Okay, I was just gonna say that I think that the movie would have benefited greatly if that scene just wasn't in it at all. Because
Yeah.
because you're introducing your killer like right at the beginning, and like he's still masked, like you don't know who he is. But I think it just would have been better for the plot to get to him naturally instead of it have to be forced upon us in the first scene.
Mhm.
That was my big issue with it. And also, it was just so corny and so out of place. Like, why a dingy, dirty mine shaft, bro? Like, go like rent a hotel, Motel 6 or something. You know?
Bro,
I mean,
listen,
come on.
sometimes when you want to tap, you're like, let's go to the mine shaft.
No.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Who knows?
You gotta be really desperate.
Yeah.
For real. Your parents got to be like in your
Oh,
house
yeah.
and like no car keys. You got to be like, okay, we're gonna walk to my job. We're gonna take the mine cart down to the shaft, and then we're gonna shaft. And I
That's
$1 million joke.
And I think the corniest part about it is she has a heart tattoo,
right.
and when he kills her, it goes
Yeah.
through the heart
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
And like when I first saw that scene, I was like, so does he like? Is this like gonna be the rest of the movie? Like, is he just gonna like take a bunch of women down here and slaughter them
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
draw a heart on them or
Yeah.
something? It misdirects you, but I think
Right.
it misdirects you in the
Oh, yeah.
wrong way.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good misdirect.
Kaylin, what did you think about
True.
it?
I pretty much agree with everything that Skippy said. It was really out of place for the rest of the movie, and it just didn't have like the same vibes that the rest of the movie had. Like it was just really out of place, and it just would have been better without it.
Yeah. I
Did
agree.
the classic
Tina?
80s thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go,
Okay.
Nick. Sorry.
Oh, just it's such a classic 80s thing. Like, let's sexify the first 5 minutes and then be a horror film. But go on, Tina.
Oh yeah, that's like basically what Skippy said, and how like when I first said my initial thoughts on the movie, like how the first scene really threw me off, and I was like not knowing what to expect. But I'm glad that even though they had it there, I'm glad they didn't do that the whole movie because I don't think I would have liked it as much.
Yeah, I agree. It just would have been stale.
Mhm. Yep.
I do like how Tina texted in the little strangers group chat that we have, and she was just like, "Why is she feeling up his mask
I forgot about that.
hose?" She was just like,
that.
I was like, "What is happening right now?"
Yeah,
Why did you have that up?
You know, our killer inside there was like, "Damn." What?
Just stroking his like breathing tube. It was weird.
Do you think he was into it, or at that moment he was like, "Yeah, I got a killer." Like, that was the moment.
I don't know.
I would have killed her.
Whoa!
All right, so Bill, you better be
spam.
careful.
Don't go near his breathing tube.
Yeah.
I know. Don't you dare. Yeah. I don't have any stand-in.
Oh my god.
What's it? Yeah. What a weird opening sequence of the thing. I gotta agree with you guys. It felt like they could have made a movie based off that scene. Like a different vibe of the movie that we saw. And it's very strange. It would have been like a crappy. I always forget we can swear, a shitty 80s movie like that. Just would have like been like the rest of the schlock. But yeah, well, interesting. You know, sorry Ryan. Sorry if we get demonetized.
Oh no, listen. We have on the podcast explicit content.
Explicit.
We are not getting demonetized.
Really?
It's kind of hard to have
Harsh language.
hard to have a horror movie podcast and go in depth and not swear or not talk about like ripping somebody's heart out and putting it in a Valentine's Day box and having them open it all bloody. Like
like what other horror movies like? All right, so we're gonna continue on. Mayor Hanniger of Valentine Bluffs, a Canadian mining town, reinstates the traditional Valentine's Day dance, which has been suspended for 20 years. The dance is stopped after an accident in which two supervisors left several miners in the mines to attend the dance. Because they forgot to check methane gas levels, there was an explosion that trapped the miners. Harry Warden, the only survivor, resorted to cannibalism to survive and went insane. The next year, he murdered the two supervisors who left them there and vowed further attacks if the Valentine's Day dance ever occurred again. That one I just had to keep on going because it was all connected. So,
yep.
A lot of information there that we get, and we really get it in the first like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yep. The old barkeep telling the tales.
Yeah. And I like that our good old bar person was just like, "I'll tell you what happened with the dance."
Yeah. That's when it started feeling like Scooby-Doo to me. Is when it was like the whole like old guy that like warns them about the entire thing and they don't believe him and they're like, let's go scope it out, gang, you know? Like the whole that's what it felt like.
Yeah. It's exactly what it was.
Yeah. That's what the police chief was like when you opened the box. They were like, "Let's scope it out."
Yeah. So Scooby-Doo vibes through the roof.
Yeah. What were you, Nick? What did you think of the backstory? Because I know you really like backstories with killers. They're very important to you. So I was wondering.
They are. Yeah, and you know what? I think it's like a revenge story, but I don't know. I like that they show the guy going insane, and that kind of carries over to the true identity, which is Axel. I like how that whole relation happened. I really like the plot twist, whether it was predictable or not. I personally was very surprised and didn't pick up on the plot twist, which is again, this happened with
Thanksgiving.
Maybe it was Thanksgiving. I don't know. It was another movie recently that I should have gotten the plot twist for, and I didn't. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like when it was Axel, I literally exclaimed. So I didn't. I like the backstory a lot and the whole insane thing. But the problem is, I don't know if it warrants Axel being the killer.
Mm-hmm. And that's something we'll
You know,
talk
like-
about a little bit later once we
Yeah.
start getting there. But as Harry Warden as our like first suspect, did you like his backstory? Did you think it was interesting? Stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I feel like I think you all disagree. You all disagree.
I don't disagree. I'll defer. I just want to hear you. I just want to hear you. This isn't like a trick. This isn't like a trick. I just want to hear you.
Well, I was gonna say I like it. I mean, it's a good misdirection in the fact that they're kind of revealing something, and we've seen a killer in the mines, and it's kind of like, oh, so it could be him. And they'll do stuff later on with it, like where you do think it's actually him. But just focusing on the backstory of the dance with the miners being trapped and how he reverts to cannibalism and then he kills the supervisors and vows revenge. I like that. I think that's such an interesting motive for a killer. He's not like, oh, I'm just gonna, murder anyone willy-nilly. No, it's specific reasons. The supervisors, they caused this, they're getting killed. It was Valentine's Day dance that was doing it. If they plan it again, y'all are getting killed.
The thing about that, though, is that he didn't actually kill anyone on Valentine's Day. Because
that's true.
It was the Valentine's Day dance that they left him there for in the mine shaft. So then it was like, what, like a week or two later, right? They found him or something?
No, I think they said 6 weeks later or something.
6 weeks? Yeah, so
that's
like, that's not even on Valentine's Day. So what's the whole significance behind
no, he goes
Day?
the next year on Valentine's Day. He kills the supervisor.
Okay, so he waited a year.
Yeah, he waited.
Okay. All right. Now it makes sense. I was like, so did he just kill them? That didn't make sense to me. But now I get it. I don't know. The whole backstory, like, I get it, and I understand why you like it, Nick, because it is different from the norm. I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it that I dislike. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. It just wasn't compelling for me. But I think the reason why it wasn't compelling for me is because he's not the killer. So, like, they're giving the backstory to someone who isn't the character they should be focusing the backstory on. But that's,
Yeah, we don't know that at that point.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It made the backstory worse for me in the end because of that.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, what about you, Tina?
I think I liked his backstory more than like the actual killer's backstory. Like, it just made more sense. It was more direct, and like, yeah, I just like that one more.
What about you, Kaylin?
Yeah, I agree with Tina that Harry Warden's backstory was definitely a lot more detailed and like better. It kind of overshadowed Axel's in a way, because like they kind of just like mentioned it like, oh yeah, and Axel was there when his father died, and like that was kind of it. So like compared to that, how in detailed they went for Harry Warden was like a little overshadowing for the actual killer. But other than that, his was good.
I'd be more scared of Harry Warden than Axel. Like that was one thing that I kept on.
Oh yeah.
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 Like Harry Warden was a beefcake when you saw him, and he was eating another man's arm when they found him. Like we saw that happen, and then they're just like, "Oh, Axel, he's blonde."
Blonde, strong man gets angry. Like,
What about you, Ben?
Mean to girl.
You deferred. I'm curious to what you think.
Yeah, I deferred. It's like one of those things. Like, am I super satisfied with the reveal that we've been? There's a lot of like subversion in this film, but I don't know that all of it lands. Personally, for me, and a lot of subversion doesn't work for me, or I don't think it's effective in the right way. Yeah, it's whatever. Like, I'm just kind of going along with it. I think if it would have been nice if like Harry Warden, that was the original person that was supposed to be in there. I'm sorry. Names are going to be a problem.
It's all good. It's all good. There's a lot of names in this movie.
A lot of names in this movie. Yeah, like it's like one of those. I think he had a very interesting story, and then like it's kind of like, oh no, yeah, the killer is just someone else, and accept it. And it's like, I don't know if I really want to. I don't know if I really want to. I'm still there. I'm still there. Still a cinematic masterpiece, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing, but it's all right. Yeah,
Canadian cinematic masterpiece.
just joshing there. It's all right. Yeah, I don't know if it worked. I don't know if it worked fully. To the degree that I would have wanted it to work. Although I don't have a solution. That's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta think about it more. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the twist. I just don't think that they used it effectively. I don't think that they explained it well enough.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just
I
needed
agree.
Yeah, because then. Oh God, what, Tina?
No, yeah, I just think that Axel needed like more of a reason. Like, yeah, it's sad, like he got killed, but like I don't know, just to do all that, I need more.
Missing the motivation.
Especially to show like how crazy he went like once he was discovered to be the killer after. It's like, how do you go from like 0 to nothing, like with no explanation?
Sure.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, but we're jumping all over the plot here still. But
It's all good.
I would like to have seen. I would have liked to have seen that get somehow worked into. What's his motive for getting with Sarah then?
To take her down to
Kind of blows that out.
He wanted a pipe.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know how much more reason there was to do it than.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
he was trying to get with her before that when Jesse or TJ leaves. So what's if he knows that he wants to kill people, what's his reasoning of just being in this devoted relationship? He's gonna go off and kill everybody.
True love.
Yeah, it's the power of love. Sorry,
yeah, maybe he just wanted a girl who could change him for the better. Once the one girl was, filling up the pipe, he was like, nah, killed her. No. He was like, Sarah.
Does that mean he's an adulterer?
Complex character
I think we're making it more complex than
yeah. I think these are all
80s Canadian horror movies.
These are all missed opportunities that we're talking, I think.
Well, anyways, continuing on with our plot, Warden was placed into an asylum and the accident was forgotten. So dance resumes. We're introduced to a group of young residents that are excited about the dance. And here we go with names: Gretchen, Dave, Hollis, Patty, Sylvia, Howard, Mike, John, Tommy, and Harriet. Sarah, Axel, and the mayor's son, TJ, are involved in a tense love triangle.
Holy crap.
Yes.
I didn't realize that TJ was the mayor's son. Was I supposed to realize that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they get into a fight. In the beginning, he's like, you went away, now you're back, so like, you're gonna work in the damn mine. Stupid.
Yeah, that's word for word a quote what he says.
Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, Skippy, did you memorize that exact line?
Yes. Yeah, actually. I've studied all of the mayor's 4 lines.
Wow, cool.
A student.
Cool.
Yeah. He says, not again twice. He talks to Mabel for like a second, and then he gets mad at TJ, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Then we never see him again. Yeah.
I want you to study the motivation between not again, the first one, and then the second one. Not again.
So continuing on with there's not much to say other than there's people in this movie.
Yes.
And that there's a love triangle, which we already talked about.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Continuing on, Mayor Hanniger and the town's police chief, Jake Newby, receive an anonymous box of Valentine chocolates containing a human heart and a note warning that murders will begin if the dance proceeds. I do want to continue off of that in the steelbook, they actually have what was on the Valentine inside of the steelbook.
What?
Which is, from the heart comes a warning filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happened as the 14th draws near.
They had a lot of rhymes in the Valentines for a
Yes, they
while.
did.
And it was before
They-
Rhyme Zone,
did.
so
It was like
Axel
one
was
or
just
two
coming
lines.
off the dome.
We got the Riddler from Batman and Michael Myers and a Darth Vader crossover. That's what this is.
Darth Vader crossover. That's good.
Oh, and they
That's good with
replaced
the
Darth
mask.
Vader's "No" in Episode 3 with the mayor going, "What party?"
Oh,
Parallels to Star Wars in the movie. Who
Yeah.
knew?
I mean, it came out at the same time as Episode
Listen.
5.
That's true.
Yeah.
Listen, this mayor doesn't believe notes threatening the. It's so weird because the dance gets canceled,
Yep.
and then they have a party,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
the dance got canceled, so that means that there shouldn't be any more murder, right?
Murderers.
Right?
No, so
Mm.
he any party relating to Valentine's Day.
Oh, this guy just wants an excuse.
Yeah.
This guy just wants an excuse.
Axel just wanted the
That's-
excuse.
Ooh. I don't. No, because I don't know. Because I feel like the motivation. Well, it was. Oh God, the name of the guy that's actually supposed to be the killer.
Axel?
What's his name?
Oh, Harry
Howard?
Warden?
No, the
Warden.
other guy. Harry Warden. Harry Warden has an axe to grind about the Valentine's Day dance because that's how he got stuck down in the mines.
Mhm.
But Axel doesn't have any reason. Oh, this is kind of a bad plot hole. Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's not talk about this anymore.
We'll talk about some more later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think there becomes reason for him, but not that well. We'll talk about it later on. But
So
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
Skippy,
question.
We'll get.
I have
We're
a
getting there.
question.
We're get-
What if
Oh, okay.
no one invited Axel to the party? Do you think there would have been the deaths because he wouldn't have known about it?
No, there would have been
that's
more.
true.
You would have been extra angry. You would have been extra angry.
He would have rang up Harry Warden and was like, "Yo, I know you
Yo,
killed
we gotta
someone
go.
really important in my life, but listen, we're on go."
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a cool team up. Like, sorry I killed your dad, but
Yeah.
that could be a sequel.
The crossover we never knew we needed.
Exactly.
I want it.
There we go. That's it.
Continuing on, and of course the saddest part. That evening, resident Mabel is murdered by a mining-geared killer in a laundromat, and her heart is removed. Newbie publicly reports that she died of a heart attack to prevent a panic.
Sounds like what Trump did with Corona.
Oh!
Oh!
Heyo!
And by that, of course, we mean he told the world that somebody died of a heart attack, but instead, people were having their hearts gouged out of them.
Yes.
That is what coronavirus was doing.
Yes.
Just to spread awareness.
There we go.
Yeah. And we found out from Adrian that it was actually him
Right.
that did it.
Yes, it was all conspired by Adrian Torre.
Yeah. But I was so sad. She's gonna die once it laundromat and it does that Michael Myers shot, and I was like, Mabel. Just so
Yeah.
sad, but a
That's
very
sad.
cool death. Like if she was gonna
Yeah.
die, she had to have a cool death, and she gets it.
Cool death. She gets tossed in the washing machine.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
The
cool.
dryer.
Yeah.
Dignified.
No, well, the
It's
effects were
definitely
cool for it.
Disrespect.
Okay, yeah.
The effects
Yeah.
were cool.
You get
for
her
it,
heart taken
man.
It was.
Yeah, you're right.
It was. The aspect of putting a body in a dryer to like cook it was like very like okay. Yeah, no, okay, it was unique.
It's kind of gross.
Pretty cool. It's gross,
Kinda
but
gross,
cool death. Yeah, I got you. Okay. I'll say cool death.
One thing that
Oh,
sorry.
you go, Skippy. No,
I
you go.
was just gonna say one thing that I really liked about that scene was that she's trying to use like the washer or dryer doors to like stop him, because like when you're in that situation where there's like nothing around you, like because like that's the thing that felt the most real out of this entire movie for me was that she was just like trying to like stop him with dryer doors. I don't know what it was about that, but
Mm.
she's just trying to like put as much distance between herself and him as she possibly can. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not working out for her.
And she's like a feeble old lady. Like she's not gonna, just be like, all right, I'm gonna throw some haymaker.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I will say I
Yeah,
noticed.
that's a good point.
This is a little bit of like, wow, our chief is really bad at his job. When he goes in there, you literally see blood absolutely drenched on that one dryer that she's in. And he opens the dryer next to it.
Yeah. And he's going and he's smelling. I will say that though,
Yeah,
actually.
he's sniffing the laundry.
Yes, the sniffing of the laundry. That's good. That was pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he missed the obvious just blood drenched everywhere. When I was watching it, I was like, is that blood? I was like, there's no way he's missing that. He's a police officer. There's blood. And I was like, oh, he's a police officer. He's gonna miss that.
Yeah.
Horror movie cops are not reliable.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Good horror movie cop. Maybe.
Get out.
Get out. Get out did have a good cop.
Oh, but he's
Yes.
technically not a cop.
TSA.
He's TSA.
He's TSA. Jet. Okay, the hunt continues.
Yeah. But yeah, Kaylin, what'd you think about it?
About Mabel's death.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course it's sad, it's Mabel. Everyone loves her. You kind of knew she had to die because of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, she didn't even get a late death, though, which is kind of sad. But I mean, I do agree with Skippy that, like, it made it kind of more realistic that, like, she's just, like, an old lady, so she can't really do much. So, like, just trying to, like, keep the doors between them, even if obviously that wasn't going to work in the end. It's just something that she tried rather than just, like, being like, oh no, and, like, just get killed.
Yeah, like, ah.
But I mean, yeah, like, instead of just, like, standing there, like, like, at least she did something.
Mhm. Yeah, what about you, Nick? If you want to elaborate.
I gotta lie, I literally enjoyed the sniffing of the dead body. It made me realize something about a lot of horror movies. Why don't people smell the rotting of dead bodies more?
Because all they do in those scenes is just go, oh, it stinks. That's it.
But that's real.
Mhm.
I think it's a missed opportunity for a lot of movies if they're discovering a body, because that body was
Fair point.
old. It was like a 24 hours. It's not like a fresh kill.
It's also
Yeah.
cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And cooked. It literally smells like cooked flesh.
And hair.
Like, yeah, you're right. And hair, specifically hair, for some reason.
And Mabel.
Oh.
Oh.
I could cry right now. I was so sad when she died. I was really sad.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't think they were going to kill her that soon.
I didn't either. That's why. Like when it changed perspective to like the first person, it was obvious. But
Mhm.
at first, I was like, okay, so she's at like the laundromat. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, is she gonna get a Valentine from the guy to say to cancel the dance, or is the police chief gonna walk in and they're gonna like kiss or something? Like, I didn't think that she was actually gonna get croaked. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, she really got murked. Poor
Yeah.
Mabel. All right, let's continue on. I don't want to keep on talking about Mabel.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Saddest
But-
case.
He contacts, he, as in our police chief, contacts the mental institution where Harry Warden was incarcerated, but they have no record of him. Hanniger and Newbie cancel the dance, but the town's youngsters, who wrote this? But the town's youngsters, darn you, decide to
wrote
hold
it.
their own party at the mine. A bartender warns them against it, but is killed by the miner.
And what an awesome place to have your party. The abandoned mine. Actually, now I'm saying that out loud. I want to party at an abandoned mine.
I don't.
I don't know.
What?
It's the history.
Have you ever been in a mine? Have any of you been in a mine?
Did you see the movie?
I mean, I don't want to be in that mine. I don't know, like mines in general, though.
Not a
I don't
Canadian
know.
mine. He doesn't want to be in a Canadian mine. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thing.
Yeah.
So I really like Howard's death. I thought it was very comedic how he just keeps on like playing with his little prank that he was gonna prank the kids with, and how he just keeps on laughing at it drunk, and then the last time he does it, he's murdered. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean,
That
it's
was cool.
so predictable.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool. Yeah. After like the second time, it was like, oh, this would be a perfect opportunity to kill.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I forget, and I probably shouldn't forget this. Was he the one whose eyeball comes out when he dies?
No.
I don't think so.
Is that the uncut version?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember that happening.
I will say
I don't remember that happening. Yeah.
I ended up watching
Yeah.
the uncut version. I watched both of them, so I might confuse some things
Okay.
Oh.
because this comes with the uncut version, so I'm watching it.
Ah.
So you watched it twice.
I did because I wanted to see what
Oh.
was because everyone says you have to watch the uncut version, so I was like, okay,
No.
let me watch it.
Is it better?
It's a lot more gory,
Oh.
and
Well,
I would say it's a lot
1980s score.
better in that aspect
Okay.
because it's like, oh my god, these effects are really good.
Well, then that's probably why it's considered one of the top 5 slashers. Is
Slasher,
the
yeah.
uncut version is a
Yeah.
lot more gory.
Oh.
That makes more
could be
sense.
different, yeah.
But the shots are a lot grainier because they're not in the final cut, so they weren't like fully restored ever.
process.
So you
yeah.
could tell when it's the uncut footage, like automatically.
Yeah.
And you could see it by we have to bring back Mabel. With Mabel's death, they actually show her tumbling around the machine.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Like her body doesn't just come out. They twirl it a few more times before it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's nasty. The uncut version. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
But yeah, Howard's dead.
Yeah, one thing about Howard's death that I
Okay.
didn't like was that he opens it 3 times, turns away, like he's done, and then he goes back and does it again. Like, why? I just don't understand why he went back to do
Because
it
he's
again.
a
Like,
clown.
right, but he did it 3 other times, so why does he need to check it anymore? Like, third time's a charm, bro. Get out of there. It's not
It
that
felt
fun.
like he was waiting
Yeah.
for the actor to actually get into position,
Right.
and that's why
Yes.
he did that to
Yeah.
then turn around and open it the last time.
yeah.
I think it would have been cooler if he did it the 3rd time and he was just there. Like instead of him walking away and coming back.
Or have the actual
Yeah.
actor in there the whole time
Yeah.
doing the thing. So
Mhm.
there's not much of a switch that needs to take place. Where
Right.
He's going to be like, ha!
Yeah.
Just get rid of the ropes for the last one. That's all you would have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut 2 with the ropes, and you do a different camera angle and cut and not use the ropes. There you go.
Well, the 80s were a different time.
I guess. But I mean, you got to give the man some credit because he did have that inventiveness. Like he created a whole police system to just fuck with like 18 kids. Like I don't know what his plan was, but hey man, good
He
for
really
him.
was like, fuck these kids. They want to sass the shit out of me. I'm gonna prank them.
I also found
That
it
bad.
hilarious. Like, he was laughing so hard at
What?
every time.
Mm-hmm. Bro, he
Oh, yeah.
thought he just told the best zinger in the world. He was so happy with himself. Yeah. There's not much more to add to that, I think.
Yeah, there isn't.
So here wait a second. They skipped the entire love triangle in this.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I'm okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm all right.
What the
I'm
heck?
all
Shut up,
right.
Peace.
They said it was an intense
I know.
love triangle. Yeah,
They said it was they didn't
that's good
mention
enough.
how
That's good enough.
Jay kidnaps this poor woman and
And not very plot.
Oh,
He
yeah.
didn't mention Axel
Yeah.
and TJ playing the harmonicas together.
Oh, that's
That
right.
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
Oh god. I was
What
so
a moment.
Oh,
confused.
that was that metaphor and analogy that was made about harmonica playing.
it was so like, why is this here? But thank you for having this here. All right, here we go. We're up to the party.
Oh wait.
All right.
Before we move on,
Thank
one
God.
thing about the harmonica scene.
Yes.
what's that word that I'm looking for? When something is there to show something
Harmonica.
else. No, not harmonica.
Shadowing?
Foreshadowing?
Foreshadowing? I think.
Yeah,
If that's what you're trying to say.
foreshadowing. Yeah. When it goes into first person perspective again.
Yes.
Because it's
I thought you were
Axel
trying
giving
to
him
say something else.
Yeah.
Oh no. Just it foreshadows Axel being the killer because it switches into first person, which I thought was really cool.
Oh.
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
see
clever. Okay,
We see you.
George. So
That's
here
pretty
we
good.
go. At the party, the miner, as in the coal miner, not a miner, brutally kills Dave. His heart is subsequently found boiling in a pot of hot dogs being prepared in the kitchen. Shortly after, Sylvia is impaled on a shower head by the miner.
Love it. Love it all. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I was kidding. No, it oddly reminds me of Sleepaway Camp. I think it was because of the boiling stuff. That just like I don't know. That just like got me like going. And then it's like hot dogs, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why are they cheese? I was like, oh no! Like I don't know. It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
I thought
So
you were gonna
corny.
say when Sylvia was gonna get killed, and like all the miner suits are falling down. She's like, "No,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah.
no."
Definitely bottom tier of acting in this movie.
Yeah.
That is definitely
Hmm.
very Sylvia's not too good.
Yeah. And I love how like the whole time she's going like this, and then when she's discovered, he just goes. I was like, "Oh my lord, is that what people thought?" They were like, "For shock, we'll do," or frightened.
They're good actors. They were professional.
I will say, I
Yeah.
thought the hot dog part was so funny.
Yeah,
With the
funny.
heart.
Yeah. It was so funny. And how they were just like, oh, I don't know how this got in here. And they just had to chuck it to the side. They're like, we're going to eat the hot dogs now. Oh.
And then
What
we have two quick deaths because we have that and then the couple
Mhm.
in the wherever they are, the stage area. I don't know what was whatever something wherever that they were.
That was Sylvia.
Was it a stage area?
Mm.
Sylvia,
No,
yeah.
Do you want me to continue? Because I could
Yeah,
say
go ahead.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
sure.
is right after.
yeah, it's literally right after, like a sentence after. Sorry, 3 sentences after, but it's like useless sentences in between. When the others realize Dave and Sylvia have been murdered, they contact authorities, but several of the partygoers have already decided to enter the mines for fun. Before we continue on the other couple who died, at this part, Axel is just bawling in the corner because
Yeah.
he is so upset with everything. He just got into a fight with his boy. Oh, you hate to
And his
see
girlfriend broke up with him for the
Mhm.
boy. Yeah.
it. You hate to see it.
It was an emotional. There was so much more emotion to this love triangle than I ever thought there was going to be.
Yeah. It was more than meets the eye. Well, continuing on.
I have a question about
Yes.
Sylvia's death that I forgot to ask.
Yes.
In the uncut version, do you actually get to see her?
Yes.
Okay.
You see her get put on the shower and like jammed in, and like you could see like the water coming out.
Of her mouth.
Yeah, it's actually it's really cool and really nasty.
Good.
Yeah, good, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yum.
So, Newbie rushes into the mines with police to rescue them. And here's where you were talking about, Nick. The miner impales a large drill into Mike and Harriet and shoots a nail gun into Hollis's head. Horrified.
Yeah. Okay. So what are Kaylin and Tina's reaction to this death? I keep getting when I mentioned it before. I saw both of you guys react.
We just loved
we were
Hollis so much.
Really upset.
Hollis?
We did not want him to die.
Hollis? Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I loved Hollis. I
I did
really
too.
loved Hollis.
He's a
Yeah, he
nice
was so
guy.
great.
He broke up
Yeah.
the fight between TJ and Axel.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
took out all of them at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think
Just
Axel
a good
would.
guy. I hate to see him die.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like they did him dirty because like he lingers for a few more moments just to like scare the group
Yeah.
and then die.
Yeah. Yeah, it does kind
His
of suck.
girlfriend was really annoying though.
Yes.
She was like
Yeah.
Patty.
always all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
But
it's
Hollis-
okay because after this, oh they messed up on the Wikipedia. They said
Oh.
horrified Howard flees, but Howard is dead.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, awkward.
Howard
Ooh.
does flee. Where's the goofball?
Norman.
Oh yeah, sorry, my fault. I was
Wait.
thinking of the
Wow.
bartender.
Old
Happy.
guy.
Yeah.
oh, happy.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Howard flees. He's like, skirt.
Who is
He's
Howard?
out.
Howard's like
Howard's
the
like the
funny
little
goofball
goofball.
guy.
With the
Oh,
curly hair.
why did I think his name was
Oh,
Norman? I don't know where I got that from. I'm sorry. I have no idea where I got that from. Howard, yeah. Okay, it's
I was gonna
Howard.
say, I don't think there's a Norman. In
There
this
isn't. No, there isn't.
There isn't, no.
Okay, we're good now.
Yeah, I don't know why I read that as Howard. I just automatically thought Happy. I might have been mixing up the whole entire movie.
When
movie
you
here.
guys were talking about it before, you were calling him Howard
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I just didn't say anything. Sorry.
Oh,
That's okay. You could cut us off if we say the wrong name. Yeah, it's Happy from the prank thing. He's the bartender.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Pick that up now. But
Is ironic.
yeah. Well, horrified, Howard flees. The remaining four try to climb to the top with a ladder, but discover a dead, beheaded Howard. And this is the moment in the movie where it's like, wow, we're in a horror movie because they made a stupid decision, which is let's climb back down into the mine shaft. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, I think it was Axel that said to climb back down. Could be wrong, but
That's
No, yeah.
I think it was him. I
That's
could be totally wrong,
cool.
but I feel like I remember it being him.
if that's true, that's cool.
I thought it was TJ.
It was one of them, but I thought it was Axel. I don't
There's
know.
too many people in this movie.
Yeah.
There's too many names, too
Way
many
too
similar Canadian
Heather.
accents.
Six,
I think-
7
I think
tops
it
in
might have been
movie.
Axel.
There's like 13.
It might have been Axel. Yeah, that's a
Might have been
you know what?
Axel.
And I feel like on second rewatch this movie might be better.
Yeah.
Might be better now that you know.
Because
Yeah.
you'll pick up
Yeah,
things
because
that
then you can like
get.
look for the stuff that you missed. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
that- I didn't even notice that the second time watching it. So
Oh.
maybe the third time. Third time's the
Yeah,
charm.
the third time. Third time's the
Yeah,
charm.
yeah.
It is. Yeah.
But while finding their way out, Axel drowns, and Patty is killed by the miner, which is the worst death in this movie. Like, Patty just gets a hit to the chest from the pickaxe. He's like, and like he just falls to the ground and dies.
She
Everyone
gave
has
up.
cool deaths.
It is lame.
She gave up, and the writers gave up. That's what happened.
And if you notice, you could see like
The writers came
you
up,
can see
so.
Axel, our killer, trying to pull out like the pickaxe, and her dead body still holding onto it. And it was like the actor was like, "Come on, you have to let go right now." Like,
You do kind of see that. I was thinking that too when I watched it. It's like, oh no, we gotta do what we were told, directed to.
he's like, "Come on, you have to let go, Patty, come on." Yeah, bad death. That's probably I think that's the worst death in the movie. Like of all the effects and all of that one was the worst in terms of how it was made and stuff.
Even uncut. Even uncut, it was bad.
Even uncut.
It's like the same, pretty much.
It's literally the same.
Okay.
I still think
Probably is the worst thing.
the opening scene is the worst.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This is so like why? Why is it there?
At least it goes into a title card, which is fun.
Yeah,
This
that's-
one is just stupid. I think her face is in the back of it. Yeah, her face when she dies is on the back. Steelbook.
Oh,
It doesn't deserve that
Aw.
place though.
Poor
it
Patty.
does.
You know, what's the comedian? She kind of looks like Maya Rudolph in this picture.
Oh, yeah, she has it a little
Oh.
bit. Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
A little bit.
All right, continuing on. Here, fight scene. The miner chases TJ and Sarah, and a fight ensues. We have pickaxe versus shovel versus woman, all happening in the mines on a minecart in a very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks two-stage. That was my thing. Like, really cool to see like a killer versus like a legitimate fight. And a shovel was like a perfect, like, oh yeah, mining. I get it. It all makes sense. But it's like, it literally looked like stage combat at a bad theater. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay,
Right.
hit,
Yeah.
okay, hit, and instead it should have been like, yeah.
I felt the same when watching it.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't like trying, it was just like, yeah.
Right.
It was fun
like,
though.
Slowly. It was fun, but it could have been faster.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And they're on like a little
There's no
cart
urgency.
too. And like,
Yeah.
Or at least TJ
Yeah.
could have been faster. Because, I mean, if you think about it, Axel's been doing the same move since the beginning of the movie. He just... That's it. But
Yeah, none of
TJ...
them were in a rush. It was weird.
No. About the rush, I think they could have ran faster than the minecart, if I'm going to be honest. Like, it looks like it's moving very, very slow. It does not look like a good speed.
We're on,
A good escape route.
logic is breaking down in the final few.
Yeah.
This is really where the film starts to get like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear, Kaylin, what did you think about our little fight cart scene that was lots and lots of fun?
I mean, it was. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest, but like, I don't know. Yeah, there's not really much to say.
There isn't. There's literally just.
Yeah.
But here we go. The miner is revealed to be Axel.
Okay.
Who faked
I was
his...
like,
I wanted a little bit of suspense there, although we've been saying his name.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who faked his demise. A flashback shows that Axel's father was one of the supervisors. As a child, Axel witnessed Harry Warden murdering his father, which traumatized him. And that's all I say about it. Yeah. When it was revealed, I was like, oh, I'm not afraid.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their
It was a
villain got
really
lame.
like anticlimactic reveal.
Mm-hmm. And I think the one thing that I really loved how cool the killer was before that point, like in the mining gear and all of that, it was kind of freaky. Like, you know, this dude running around mining gear with like a pickaxe just murdering people.
Yeah.
And then it just turns out to be a blonde Canadian dude who's upset because Harry Warden killed my father.
Yeah, why would
Is that what he
you...
sounds like?
Why would you idolize
No, what he
the
sounds
guy?
like is him just going and not explaining his
Right,
backstory at all.
Yeah.
Why would he idolize the guy that killed his dad, though? That's the thing that I don't get. Like, what?
Yeah. That didn't really make any sense.
Maybe he
No.
likes boys.
I don't know how that would have anything to do
What?
with it. But okay, I mean,
Literally spent
screw the love triangle.
more than half. Yes, but yeah, exactly. Spent more than half the movie fighting over a girl. Maybe he could have been bi, but there was no whatever. There was no indication. It was not.
Yeah, thank you for your analysis, Ryan.
Yeah.
No problem.
I think I'm just gonna assume that he's just crazy. He's just being crazy. I don't know, right? Is that like what we're supposed to assume?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
am I turning?
Yeah, with
am I-
like his laughing at the end.
Yeah.
We're supposed to assume.
I think I might be turning against this movie. I don't know. This
I'm
is weird.
already
This is
against
weird.
it.
The
Also, his
more we
fake
talk
death
about
was
it,
kind of unrealistic.
yes, the drowning.
Oh yeah,
right?
I was confused. I had to literally rewind to be like, "What happened?"
Yeah, like would
Right,
he
did you?
fall in? Like, does he not know how to swim?
fake.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just jumped
It's
in
not
and was
like he
like,
was
well,
wearing the
I
character
think-
hat, like-
I think it was
Yeah.
supposed to be implied
Yeah,
that
exactly.
the killer got him. I think that was what was supposed to be implied. Like that the
Yeah.
killer.
like it was his dead body that was in.
Well, like
yeah, like he was dying, like he got like hit
He was
or
dead
something.
already,
in
and
the-
then
yeah, or like the killer knocked him out. He fell backwards, broke the fence, and died. Like, I think that was what was implied because he was like, "I'm gonna stay back. I'll protect you. Go."
Mm.
And then.
I would have been like, Axel, I'm sorry, bro. You're not holding anybody back. Like,
Yeah,
let's be
for real.
honest. I love that we're
Yeah.
talking shit about him, but he's literally killed so many people in this movie.
Well, but that's the thing. In the fight scene with TJ in the room where they have the party, he doesn't he can't fight. He gets stopped by the guy that got shot with a nail gun, Hollis.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he can't
Right.
he can't fight. He's so bad at
Yeah.
fighting, and you'd think that someone who's like killed this many people would be good at something at least. But
He didn't have his pickaxe.
Yeah.
why do you need a weapon if you're killing a whole bunch of? Didn't he choke someone? I thought he choked someone. Did he just kill people with pickaxes? I thought he choked someone too.
Yeah, they're all weapon assisted, right?
Yeah, they're all
Okay.
weapons.
Okay. Oh no, I
Or
was
they're
just
off
thinking.
screen that we don't see what he did to him.
Right. Okay.
Right.
I'm just thinking of like all the different shots of his gloves. I think because there were a lot of those. I guess I figured that
Right.
would be one of him choking someone.
I guess the only one that's not weapon assisted is when he kills Sylvia with the
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's still it's like we're against the thing. I mean, he's definitely a strong guy.
Mhm.
He's definitely hiding his strength.
Yeah, he works
He's
in a
strong.
mine. He's strong.
Right.
Yeah, he's strong. He's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yes,
people he
sure.
kills pretty much almost all work in the mine too.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I feel like but here's what it comes down to. I think it's Axel and Axel being the killer who is just such a poor character.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I don't
we
believe
keep focusing on that.
I
Yeah.
don't believe.
Yeah,
Yeah. To me,
I feel like he didn't get a lot of development, so there wasn't really that much other than the love triangle. Like, what was he good for? Like,
They
didn't
focused.
really have anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that because they focused way too much on the twist and not enough on the character itself.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So you made a great point, Kaylin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
I
not
think
enough time.
it would have been better if Harry Warden was our killer at the time.
Yeah.
At least in this movie. At least
Yeah.
in this first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a remake. Interesting. It feels like a sequel, like plot. Interesting.
Oh.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Especially since like
interesting.
the mayor was like, "Oh, not again!" Like it makes it seem like there would have been a movie about when Harry
Not
Warden was doing. it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if they go back in
Like
time?
Kind of like a Scream too.
Yeah. Did they make a second Bloody Valentine? Not the remake.
No, it's
They
only
did,
the
didn't they?
remake.
It's only the remake. Interesting.
To my knowledge.
It'd be cool if it was a prequel.
No. You're right.
Tina?
You're right.
What?
It would be cool if the 3D one was a prequel.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'll
would've
definitely
been-
watch it at some point so I could see how they connect it and if it is actually like a direct a remake or reimagining, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of find
I
out.
hate that. I hate that word.
A
I
reimagine.
hate
Reimagining?
I hate reimaginings. Ah, it makes my blood boil.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, I like reimagining.
What?
As in like
that's a conversation. For another
as
day.
in like
But,
if it's like
actually, yeah.
well, I was gonna say if it's like this is a film that was pretty good, I'm gonna reimagine it in a different way. It's because I know I'm never gonna get to the same peak that original movie was.
Like the new Pet Cemetery.
No, that was just a remake with just new things
Well-
that they tried out.
Right, but isn't that?
I mean, I guess technically you could call that a reimagining.
Yeah.
What I think of is Suspiria,
Yeah.
the original 1977, and then the 2018 is a reimagining of that story, which is
But-
told completely different.
Okay.
Oh, the 2018 one is is I mean, maybe I don't, because you're a much bigger Suspiria fan than I am, but the 2018 one is like objectively not as good.
Oh, it's definitely not as good. I don't.
Okay.
Reimaginings usually aren't better than, not usually. They're
Right.
basically
Right.
never.
That's my problem.
Oh
that's
yeah.
my problem.
So yeah, then I agree
Yeah.
with that. I just like, if you're gonna remake a movie, to reimagine it and do your own things instead of just copying what someone else did. Kind of like Psycho, and then the Psycho remake where it's a shot for shot remake. Just let's have Vince Vaughn and who's the girl in it? Who's the girl who's her literal butthole on screen?
Oh.
Anne Hess, right?
Yeah. There it is. Oh man.
Oh, that came up in it.
Anne Hatch.
Hatch.
Yep.
Yeah, poor. How do you do that to her?
Poor Anne Hatch.
But finishing up on My Bloody Valentine, because we only have a little bit.
Yep.
Thank God. At this point, that is. Let's see. So yeah, we hear stupid backstory. TJ hits Axel with a rock, resulting in the tunnel collapsing, which traps Axel as Newbie and the police arrive to rescue TJ and Sarah. The police explain to them that Harry Warden died 5 years earlier. TJ and Sarah, which also, how did they find that out? Like, when were they just like, oh yeah, he died 5 years earlier? They're like, oh,
Did he?
so there's not a
That was
killer in
what
our
I
town.
Called the asylum, right?
Didn't the asylum call?
Yeah. And then he got that emergency call when he was about to check the mine. First time.
Oh yeah.
They had to go back to the station. That's probably what it was, I assume.
Oh, okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still, it was like
It was like a
stupid.
one-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't really
Yeah.
explained all that well. Another thing I disliked about the because like the police always show up really late, you know? Like that's just the police trope, is that they're always so late to the crime scene. Yet it took the kid driving like a literal nut job 2 seconds to get to the police station from the mine. And it takes the police officer like a half an hour tops to get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like, bro,
Yeah.
put your sirens on or something. Like, don't stop at every red light. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, bro, you're a cop for a reason. You
For
just
real.
go.
Yeah.
Like, there was points where Jake Newby was a good cop, like what you said with the smelling, but then there was the other point. Wow, you are dumb.
Yeah, and then the whole entire town just follows him.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I wonder who
Like-
it is.
Yeah, so everyone,
I
they're like,
know
we're
for a
like,
while because he wanted to keep it hidden.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's like, you're my bloody Valentine, Sarah. It's like, I'm like, yeah, it's like the perfect capstone to a kind of shitty movie.
Is it bad that I was not enjoying it really anymore at that point? But then that scene where like he's literally cutting off his arm and then just grabs her with the arm he's cutting off currently, and then rips off. He's like, "You're still my bloody Valentine," blah, 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 like running into the mine. I was like, I love this.
We get a really jokery laugh from him. And he's just
That's true.
yeah.
and then it ends. That's pretty much the ending.
Well,
Which is like,
wait, there's one thing that I was like, I respect this movie for doing this. So the film ends with a maniac laugh being heard, either Axel or Harry Warden's, as a ballad for Harry Warden plays over the film credits. Did you guys notice that?
it's a ballad for Harry.
Specifically for him.
Yeah. They literally in the credits, there's a song written for Harry Warden that tells the story.
I did not notice that. That's crazy.
Oh, that's
It's really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really buy the whole Axel thing. I think if they were going to remake it again, they should definitely revolve it around Harry Warden.
Mm-hmm.
That's what needs to happen.
I agree.
Yeah. That's the interesting story.
Let's make it happen.
Well, it looks like
All right.
it looks like in the back of the remake he's in like a store, so that's good.
In a what?
In a convenience store.
Yeah, that
Convenience store.
reminds me of a Splinter. Not in a good way.
Well,
Yeah.
the groceries, the convenience
Not in a
store
good
scene.
way. Not in a good way.
Is the remake any good? Did anyone watch
I've
the
heard that
remake?
it's butt.
Really?
Which is surprising because this one was
But
kind
as
of
an
butt.
ass.
So like,
Yeah, it wasn't.
So I
amazing.
think it's because this one isn't as funny. Like this one doesn't have the comedy that they were
Well,
going.
they tried to make it real.
Yeah, they tried to make it serious.
Exactly, Kayla.
They'll do it.
Too serious.
Because like that's why this movie is loved by so many people, and I can understand why it's loved by many people, and I really enjoy it
Yeah.
because it doesn't take itself seriously.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah.
time, but it's still kind of booty. His cheeks. I didn't really like it. I don't
So
know.
then I guess what would you guys give it? I gave it in my review a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh,
I said if I'm
barely
doing
passing.
I said if I'm doing bias as in like how much I really enjoyed it, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Well,
I think I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Ryan.
Good, Tina.
All right, you can go.
when I was watching it, I was thinking about it, and I would give it a 5 for like when I'm really thinking about it, because like
Oh,
the acting and everything's like really bad, but like it was enjoyable. So like that's where all the points come from, like just me enjoying it. But like if I'm not really like trying to judge the movie, like I would rate it higher just because like I kind of had fun watching it. But like when we really like thought about like stuff, like
Mhm.
then it wasn't as cool.
Mhm. Yeah. What about you guys,
about
Skippy,
you?
Kayla?
Kaylin, do you want to go?
Sure. I mean, like, I pretty much just agree with what Tina said. Like, when you're thinking about, like, when you're really just, like, analyzing it and, like, thinking about it a lot, and, like, the more you notice that's, like, come on, like, really, like, it's not really that great, like, technically speaking.
Mhm.
Like, it is enjoyable just because it's not great and they make it funny and they embrace that. So, like, the enjoyment levels are definitely up there. It's just the actual movie, like, when you're thinking of, like, a horror movie, like, you're really not going to be scared with this movie. It's more so just
Mhm.
funny. Like, so
Mm.
I would probably rate it like around like a 5 too, but it was more enjoyable than a 5. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Skippy?
I don't know. I feel bad. I don't
No,
wanna
no,
be-
you gotta go.
Well, be honest. Yeah, just
All right.
Hey, you got honesty's time.
Okay. All right. So I'll do the good stuff first.
all right.
Overall enjoyment. I enjoyed it a lot until the final like chase scene in the mine. I felt like that was really drawn out, and they were just looking for reasons to kill off all of the characters except for TJ and Sarah. That way they could be together. So
Mhm.
that was kind of like, okay, whatever. You didn't,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know, and like like and all of their deaths taking place in the mine kind of made it like less cool for me because I was like, you could do so many different things like around the town, but
Mm.
you had to just make it all take place in the mine. But it's okay. And when I critically think about it, I really don't like this. Like I wouldn't I'd rewatch it maybe one more time, just to try to pick up on some things I didn't notice, maybe appreciate it a little more. I definitely would want to watch the uncut version instead.
The effects was something that really brought it up for me, like
Yeah.
in the final
That
rating.
that's one of the reasons why I would want to watch the uncut version. But yeah, I gotta give it like a 4. Like a 3.6. 3.6.
The critic.
that's
the
fair.
critic. The
That's
critic.
fair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Mm.
Who do we not hear from? Nick? You hear from
I
Nick?
guess me.
Next, like
I'm
one.
gonna say.
Done. One and done.
Well, good night. No. Gosh, I want to say like it's like a 5.9. Just similar to what we've been saying. It was entertaining, but as a movie, not great.
Mhm.
Plot line with the love triangle, really interesting, and it gave the story a little bit of depth that a horror movie doesn't usually have, or at least a cheesy horror movie like this one. Really good acting performance by the actress behind Sarah. Yeah, and that's it. It really fell. It seemed like the more we dissected this, the more we realized how bad of a quality it is, like professionally. So yeah, 5.9.
Yeah, I totally agree, Nick. That doesn't happen for me. I usually end up appreciating movies more. What happened with this movie? That's weird. That's weird. I was like, yeah, this is like a 7 out of 8 for me, and now I'm like 6.5 might be a little generous. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yes.
So a funny thing, you bringing up, the appreciation thing. I have to talk to you guys about a cool Lake Mungo theory that I recently heard.
Oh my gosh, disconnected.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I mean, Kaylin, Tina, Skippy. I don't know if you guys heard the podcast or if you listened to it or ever heard of this movie, but Lake Mungo is a mockumentary about this girl named Alice Palmer. Yeah, but in case, Kaylin or I was gonna say Tina, you would be the one to out of everyone. Yeah. You also edited the review that I did of it.
Yeah.
But it's basically a mockumentary about this girl named Alice Palmer who drowns. And it's basically kind of figuring out like the secrets that she has and stuff like that. It's a very good movie. I won't kind of say what the actual movie is. I'll give like what someone thinks is a possible thing about the movie, like a cool little.
Yeah.
So people theorize that the brother killed her.
Interesting.
And I was like, huh.
Wow.
And like the more you think about it, you think of like, oh, the brother had the weird bruises.
And the brother was overcome with guilt, which is why he started making the weird videos.
And the brother was the last one in the dam with her.
And the brother was seen wearing her things by the dam.
Mm-hmm. Right? Isn't it a weird theory? But like, it makes sense in a way?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's completely overlooked. Wow. Wow. We need to watch that movie again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd rewatch that movie anytime.
I think it's kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
Honestly,
right?
now I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Because she just dies. That's how it's presented in the movie.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, she drowned. No. The brother killed her. That's Jesus.
Because remember, we were like, how did she die? Like, how did she drown? And we were saying, like, that's a pro for the movie because it doesn't feel the need to. But if we're going, like, with theories and stuff like that, the brother killing her.
Wow.
And there's the videos of, like, the sister getting annoyed at him and yelling at him, like, get out of my room. And him, like, videotaping her and stuff. So.
Wow.
Weird theories. But, all right.
Wow. So
we're
anyway.
at the end of our podcast. This is a question we like to ask our guests before they leave. Tina, we'll start with you. What's a goal that you have for yourself? It could be short-term, long-term.
Oh man, I knew you were going to ask this and I still don't know what to say. I guess I'll make it related to the podcast. I guess a goal is I hope that through me like trying to like post on TikTok and everything for it, like I hope that it'll bring more viewers and stuff to it because I think you guys are doing something fun. So yeah, that's my goal.
Awesome. It's wholesome.
Thank you, Tina. Tina, thank you for your editing skills being far better than mine making TikToks. Thank you for taking that over. We appreciate you here.
Thank you, Tina.
Right.
You do a lot of
Thank you,
work
Tina.
for the channel.
You're welcome.
She does a lot of the uncredited work on the channel.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff she does goes uncredited, but she's here. She's representing. But Kaylin, my Valentine, what's a goal that you have for yourself? Short term, long term.
like-
If it's personal, you don't have to say. Like it could be anything.
I don't know. I never really think about goals, but I guess one could be to procrastinate less in pretty much anything. Yeah, that's my goal. I did make my Discord account like 10 minutes before this podcast, so I'll start
There you
it.
go.
I'll start my goal after.
And Skippy, of course, I think you already told us your goal, but would you like to say what it was again for people if they're new, just joining?
My goal is to get 200 subs on my YouTube channel by my birthday, which is in like a month. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm at 117 right now, so it's increased a little bit.
Yay.
I need to work on my Valhalla review. Reviewing stuff is really hard. I didn't think it was this hard, but you gotta to be so in depth and concise with everything. It's ridiculous. So maybe my goal should just be to get that out. I think that's my goal. Is just to get that out.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to plug, Skippy? Of course, you can plug your stuff. We'll let you go first.
Okay. Instagram, YouTube is Skippy Midnight. Twitter is Skippy Sucks. One word with the I in Skippy is a 1. That's the Twitter handle.
That sounds like it's a joke.
I'm like heavy breathing.
Let's see. Is there anything? I mean, music is just Skippy, and then that's it.
Skippy on Spotify.
Skippy on Spotify, Skippy on Apple Music, Skippy on SoundCloud. Just don't do the wrong one like Nick, because there's a lot of blonde white Skippies out there. So don't listen to the wrong one.
Yeah. I highly suggest looking at the pictures first. Of the results that come up. It'll hit there.
Yeah. What about you, Tina? What do you have to plug?
I don't know. I don't really have anything personal to really plug, but I don't know. Just check out all the videos on the channel because we put a lot of work into them. So yeah, they're worth it to watch.
Plug the TikToks.
Oh. Okay. On TikTok, let me just look up what the actual usernames are. It is for the channel itself. It's just Flash Forward Reviews, just how you would spell it. It's all one word. And then the podcast TikTok is the Three Strangers Podcast, but the 3 is like the number, not the word. Pretty simple. And yeah.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
you can find out when videos posted. Go follow it.
Kaylin, do you have anything that you would like to plug?
Honestly, no.
I feel that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Well, thank you everyone for watching this podcast. And of course, thank you to our amazing, beautiful guest. We loved having you on. Of course, in the future, we would love having you on again. Be on the lookout for more podcasts. We do need to discuss what our next podcast will be, which will be quickly after. But I think if we're going to follow the schedule, we do know what it is. But I'm not going to say it in case we don't do it.
Smart. That is smart. Don't promise things.
Yeah. Don't promise things. Yeah.
Exactly.
Number one rule of entertainment.
That's true. That's true. Promises you can't be broken, and they would be broken most likely.
Yeah.
Again, thank you everyone for watching. But remember, don't talk to strangers.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, we're good.
You did it.
Hey. Nice. Yeah, sorry for the thing. I can discuss really quick. I'm sorry, my mask.
No,
got
you're
moved up
good.
to the
Oh yeah, you're
I'm literally I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
And the other thing. Yeah.